Hey y'all, this is Brita for the Happier Attorney, the channel where we talk about flat fees for attorneys and mindset for attorneys and how you can just be a happier attorney. And today's story, it's going to be a story based on me getting hired to do a family law trial in less than a week and doing it. So, a potential client scheduled an initial assessment with us, came in, trial was scheduled for a week away. And this was not going to be an easy trial. The case had been going on for nearly 2 years. Every issue in a family law case was in this case. It had been very contentious, very high conflict, which actually made things a little bit easier. And so I had to decide very quickly, A, did I even want to touch this? Was this even worth touching? And then B, what's the price? Okay? I hadn't seen any pleadings. I didn't know a thing other than what my client was telling me, and it was going to be bad. Okay? So here's how you do it. Here's the difference with hourly and flat fees. With hourly, I probably would have moved for a continuance. I need to know all of the things, and let's push it out some more, and because your thinking changes. With flat fees, it's like, nope, let's just go in, let's just get this done. I don't need a continuance, let's just go. Let's go. And that's what we did. So I came up with a number that was, it's not complicated, and it's not complicated for any reason, but certainly when you've been practicing as long as I have, and when you've been practicing flat fees as long as I have. But here's the trick. I didn't sit there and do some big calculation. What I calculated was, what is the price that makes me want to set aside everything else for the next week and a half and do what needs to be done for this case? That's the number. It's that simple. And it was a big number. It was a big number. And I did break it up into 2 payments, and final orders, won't be entered until the second payment. Okay, that's fine. And that's what we did. Client came up with it, had to beg, borrow from every family member he had. He came up with it. And we went to trial. And that was advantageous to my client. We don't have a ruling yet, but it was advantageous to my client, A, in that, quite frankly, I don't think opposing counsel thought, the first thing he said was, are you going to ask for a continuance? I'm like, no, I got it. And I did. It was sometimes it was a little wobbly because I hadn't been in it. I was hired on Monday. We went to trial on Friday. So, there were some wobbles there, but I had enough command of the facts to do it and to do a really good job. My client was thrilled, absolutely thrilled, and he'd had 2 other attorneys. He was absolutely thrilled. And that's how you do it. You don't delay, you just go in and do the job that needs to be done. And what is the number that makes you want to do that? Now, here's the other thing with flat fees, that the reason I was able to do that and set everything aside is because I don't have a caseload from hell. I don't have a ton of cases because I charge flat fees, and we charge a good number for flat fees, so I don't have to have a caseload of a gazillion cases. Where I can say, I don't want to all the time, but where I can say, okay, you know what, for the next week and a half, all decks are clear, we're only doing this. You can't do that when you have case after case after case. I have a new client, attorney client, who is too busy. She has 3 trials in the next 2 weeks. And she is working with me because she knows that's not how she wants to practice. That's not doing her best work. That is not living a life she wants to live. And so we're working on learning flat fees and learning how to price. So she doesn't have a schedule like that, because that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, trials take everything out of you. So when you're talking about, don't be scared. If somebody comes in and you want the case and they have something right away, you're okay. You're okay. Do what needs to be done and charge what needs to be charged so that you feel good about it. Because let me tell you, if he would have, let's say, paid me, I don't know, 10 grand, would I have wanted to do what I needed to do to get up to speed for a trial and do a trial? No. And I would have been, I would have done it and I still would have done a good job, but I would not have had quite the feeling that I did about it. Okay? And trial gave me a lot more video, so stay tuned. So that's it. Don't overcomplicate it, y'all. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate. Just what is the number? What's the number that makes you want to do it? And do what needs to be done. In the time frame it needs to be done. That's it. Pretty simple. Okay, take care, y'all.